Mary Poppins seems to be our popular image of that time. The fact is, England was seething with class conflict and teetering on the brink of revolution. Into this milieu came the figure of Prince Eddie, Duke of Clarence, the son of the Prince of Wales, Grand Master of England's Masonic Lodge, who in a clandestine ceremony had married a Roman Catholic commoner, Annie Elizabeth Crooke. Prince Eddie was heir to the British throne, which by law banned heirs from marriages to Catholics. Moreover, since at least the 18th century, as amply displayed during the Gordon riots, the English working class had been programmed to despise Catholicism. News that the heir to the throne had secretly wed a Catholic would be more fuel for the revolutionary fire. Another little snippet from Secret Societies and Psychological Warfare by Michael A. Hoffman II. A very good, excellent book. Hello and welcome to another edition of the Stench of Truth. For those of you who have not done so yet and are able, I would urge you to put together something for Vocal Brush, aka Michelle. Her YouTube handle is Vocal Brush, and as reported in the last video, she had a devastating house fire. So if you're able to help, help. That's what we should all be doing. If you're not able to help, don't. And don't feel guilty about it, because a lot of us are in desperate economic straits. So that's the end of that subject. Now I wanted to talk about the TSA screening, Transportation Safety Agency, I guess, and about the screenings at airports, the body scanners, and the general invasion of privacy they represent. And you know, I've been trying to look at this in a very intellectual fashion to try to figure out exactly what the fuck these people are trying to do. What is it that they want from us? Because we've come to the point now where the mainstream media is actually doing stories and talking about this. And if that's the case, then the powers that be want this to be out in the public. They want people to see it. And what kind of reaction is it garnering? You get the two kinds of reactions. Either people are horrified at what is going on with people having their genitals fondled, and with little kids being strip searched, and etc., etc. You have the outrage, quite rightfully so. Or you have the pat bullshit fuckers who still don't fucking get it. Okay, I don't want to call you all names, but I can't help it, because even after all this time, you refuse to accept what is happening to this fucking country and to people in it and around the fucking world. Even with a tremendous fucking truckload of evidence poured on you every fucking day. We can't be completely mad with these people who refuse to accept reality, because the conditioning and programming that we've been put through is so effective. Imagine where you would be right now. You would be entrenched in that position of, oh, the terrorists are going to bring bombs on the plane and blow everybody up. What a bunch of fucking bullshit. If anybody gets on a fucking plane in this country and blows it up in the fucking sky, it ain't no motherfucking terrorist doing it. So, what is the solution? We have the propagandized masses who still say, we gotta be safe. I got to give up my freedoms and my personal space and let them ram their fist all the way up my fucking asshole, make sure I don't got no bomb. Dumbasses. And then you have the other people who are outraged. And I think that this is a very complex psychological warfare tactic being used on us. On the one hand, they are promoting outrage in an effort to draw out people who have reached their final point. and that is in protests, whatever. What would happen if everybody protested and they all had to go through the pat-down? They refused to do the body scanner, and lines got backed up and everything else, and nobody got on the planes, and eventually the airlines would go out of business. Do you really think that would happen? Let's see what happened when J.P. Morgan Chase and a couple of other bigwigs on Wall Street were fucked. What happened to them? Did they go out of business? I don't think so. You just have another fucking bailout to pay for. Because the federal government step in and bail out the fucking airlines. This is the way I see things going down. God bless you if you want to protest this and you want to make videos about it and you want to do all that. That's great. We need all of that. That has to happen. For the idiot dumbasses who refuse to accept reality, hopefully a few outrageous and shocking images will maybe click over a couple gears in their rusted out, rotted hulk of a fucking pissant brain. And maybe they'll finally start to ask themselves some very basic questions. Instead of sitting there watching Dancing with the motherfucking cocksucking stars. So, we'll have the protests, we'll have the outrage, which is good, but don't take it too far. Don't start rioting, don't start bashing things, don't start smashing things. This is a personal privacy issue. This is a personal space issue. This is inviolable rights. Inviolable. You have no right to touch anything on my body unless I give you explicit permission to do so. And you do not have a right to see me fucking naked with radioactivity. They could end up giving me cancer at some point in time. So, the way I see this playing out is that we're going to have some sporadic protests, but for the most part, the dumbed down, huge pile of shit-headed masses who still refuse to accept the reality of life on Earth and live in blissful ignorance and listen to all of the propaganda bullshit that the government pours into their ears via the mainstream media will clamor for everybody to just shut up and get scanned, or have someone stick their hand up your ass all the way to the elbow. So what will happen is the TSA will be instructed to step back a small little bit. And that is, instead of jamming my arm up your ass to the elbow, we have graciously changed our policy and will now only insert it up to the wrist. Well, that will get a lot of people to say, oh, look, they're compromising. That's good. It's thesis, antithesis, synthesis. Problem, solution, reaction. Or problem, reaction, solution, whatever it is. Anyway, you get the idea. But at the end of the day, they're still going to be violating your personal space. If it were up to me, I'd tell everybody, if you don't have to fly, if you don't absolutely have to fly, never fly again until all of these things are removed. But if you absolutely have to fly, you know, it's up to you what you want to do. But don't buy into either one of these mindsets, for Christ's sake. Don't go stampeding around to your airport, get yourself thrown into jail for nothing. You have every right to refuse, you have every right to protest, and I highly encourage you doing so. The best way to do anything is to simply avoid the activity altogether. If you don't have to fly, don't fly. And keep fighting these kinds of encroachments onto our own personal space. That's the last thing we have left, folks. It's the last thing we have left. Once you're willing to let someone grab your dick, or fondle your tits, or grab your cooch, and fondle your ass, what's left? What's left? It's virtual rape. And once you allow that, there's nothing they won't be able to do. So hopefully it'll serve as some kind of lesson, backfire on them. You know, I hope so. If you can avoid flying, avoid it. Don't fly ever again until these things are removed. And until we're treated with the modicum of respect that you would expect even for fucking slaves. Even slaves you had to take care of. Slaves had to be fed. They had to be coddled sometimes. We don't even get that anymore. Just my 2 cents. Thank you. Good night.